everybody, welcome to School of Scarlett. Today we're going to be talking about the illusion of time, and I'm going to be talking to you about how to manifest more time. My dogs are playing in the background, so you're going to probably see them running around. This is their little playtime. So anyhow, today we're going to be talking about time, and I want to share with you what I discovered about time. Now, I had an unusual experience that really revealed to me in my own personal experience how time is an illusion. So I got to experience that for myself and really kind of take some notes enough to be able to share with you. So I had the experience of it, and I was able to consciously take, account of everything that was going on and the differences as to how I lived before I had this experience and how I live after. And so one of the things about time is that we hear people saying we never get time back, or we can't bend time, or we can't make more time. And I want you to know that you really can extend time. You can bend time, and it is actually not just me speaking about this. Even if you believe in science, Einstein talked about the relativity of time, and that's what we're talking about here today. But I'm going to talk to you about it in practical ways. So I'm going to talk to you about the way that I used to live, doing to-do lists and planning out my day and being kind of a micromanager of my time, really thinking that I was extending my time, to how I live my life now, which is just without a to-do list at all, and not really thinking about those things that I need to do necessarily, just doing them, living in the flow, and how I'm able to get more done now than I was ever able to do before. So in a day, I'm probably able to do more than I would ever be able to have done in a week in the past. Some days I do more than I could probably do in a year. It really is pretty crazy. So I want to share with you that here today. It's not things that would make you tired. You think, oh, well, doing everything that you would do in a week in one day, well, you're going to be very tired. No, you're actually very energized. And what I'm going to talk about here today really only amplifies you and makes you more energetic. It's nothing that's really depleting you, but it's invigorating you. So I want to talk about, we can begin with the to-do list a little bit. So with the to-do list, before I had what I would consider like a non-dual awakening, I was oftentimes making a lot of to-do lists. And I'm going to share with you what shifted at that point. I thought I was being very productive. I was actually at that time really getting a lot of stuff done. I had to-do lists for things at work. I had to-do lists for things at home. I had to-do lists for my life. There was things I wanted to do, before I turned, 30. I had all kinds of lists for different, things that I wanted in my life. I had goals. I had, planners on my computer. I had planners on my phone. I had paper planners. I was one of those people that had the planners that you put all the little stickers into, and you even track your water. I had planners for my workouts, everything. So I was a really, really big planner. And I, made binders and all kinds of stuff with, everything planned out in a certain way to maximize time. So I was someone that was really into that. Then one day I had an awakening where I really saw through all of the illusions. And one of the illusions that I saw through was time. And so when I had that shift, I couldn't even comprehend a to-do list. It didn't even compute in my mind how or why I would do a to-do list. At that time, after that shift, I really only felt like being, like sitting there and, doing the things that I wanted to do, or sometimes just sitting out on the porch and just watching birds for hours and, reading and taking naps and doing things that I would have never thought to do, when I was in my to-do list era. So everything shifted, but my mind was just not able to even comprehend a to-do list. If you would have told me to write down a to-do list or to look at my old to-do list at that time, it would have been like a different language. I couldn't understand it. So at that time, I really got into that sense of just being in the moment, being in the now. And that's when I discovered timelessness. And not just that, but what the power of now, being in this now moment, can do for us in terms of what we can get done in one day. So even though I would sit there and I would just watch birds for hours, or, just do whatever I want to do, garden, take naps, decorate, whatever I was wanting to do at the time, I would notice that I would get really energized at some point, and all of a sudden I would write a book, and all of a sudden I would create like a new curriculum for school, or just random bursts of energy would come through as I was in my joy. So I was doing things that came very naturally to me without a to-do list. And most people, and even myself, if I had been in that time of my to-do list, had brought that person into this time, I would have been like, you're wasting time. But what I noticed was I wasn't wasting time at all. I was doing the things that I liked. I was in flow. I was enjoying life. And when those moments came through for me to actually produce something or do something, it came very easily. And there was no mental blocks. There was total clarity. There was flow. There was like an energy that helped it to all happen without me having to actually do hardly anything. So I could produce things very quickly. And so I really never really took back to doing the to-do list. To this day, I do have a planner, and I plan out like my one-on-one sessions with y'all, my courses. I have a general plan of some kind, but I don't have a to-do list like I used to have. My days are very much different now, and I'll tell you, when we have a to-do list, our mind is in this mental loop of thinking about everything on that list, and it feels almost like a burden, like a backpack we're carrying full of stones. And every time, it's like we start off with that backpack of stones, of everything on that to-do list that we have to do. And so we're walking around feeling heavy from the start of things. And as we do things, as we check things off our to-do list, it's like we get a stone out, we take a stone out. And it only happens that we can never really unpack our backpack all of the way, because as soon as we let go of things, it's a new day, or it's later in the day and we think of new things to add to that to-do list. So a to-do list will keep you like mentally bound. And if you don't like the stuff that's on your to-do list, it'll keep you, if you're in a negative state of being, thinking, I don't want to have to clean the house, I don't want to have to, clean the blinds or do this or that. You're going to be in a negative mindset, and it's going to drain your energy a lot quicker than if you didn't have a to-do list at all. So it sounds scary to let go of a to-do list or not have a plan for your day, but everything you need to do will get done. So my days don't have a to-do list. I wake up and I have to take care of various properties. I have to take care of various businesses. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have family. I have, myself to take care of as far as, exercise, diet, everything. I have many pets. I'm also on a homestead. I have many responsibilities, but I don't have a to-do list, even though I have all of that on my plate, and everything gets taken care of. So how does it get taken care of? I get up every day and I go into my joy. I go into my flow. So I create a flow for my life that I get up, I have, my warm drink, whether it's tea, coffee, or something cold if I want that. And I always wake up and I have that. And I sit outside, I take my dogs out for a walk, I walk by myself without the dogs. I do certain things to get into flow. And after I've done those certain things that I already really am excited about doing every day, suddenly it's like something drops in, that it's time for me to go, let's say, clean those shutters or blinds or whatever. And I'm so excited to do it. It's like it comes in and there's this burst of energy that is now leading me to go do that. And I go do it in a joyful way. I'm actually very grateful that I have that activity or that chore or whatever, because I see how it is a blessing that I even am doing it, Having the animals, having whatever has been added on to me is a blessing. And so when I feel that energy to go do that, I'm very excited about it. When something happens for my business, when I show up here for this channel, or I show up, I have various channels, as a matter of fact, or I show up, for my one-on-one sessions, I'm totally present. If you've been part of any of my one-on-one sessions or my courses, you know that I'm totally in that moment. I don't rush. I don't think about anything else or end something early or show up late. Time is always there for me. And it's there for me because I respect time in a way that I see how it can expand. It can expand. So even though the hour session might be an hour, if I'm feeling like it needs to go a little bit longer, I have no problem doing that, extending it a little bit more. Time really can bend, and the next person or the next situation that will show up just right on time. So everything seems to shift and move and work out for your favor. So I used to rush all the time. I used to rush to go pick up my daughter from school, to go to pick up, this errand or this thing at work. And I was always kind of rushing in the car as well. After I had this shift, my sense of time totally went away. And I realized I didn't even need to have a clock. Things just naturally happened in my system. So all of a sudden it was time to go pick up my daughter from school. And so I'd get in the car and I would listen to my music. I would take my time, let people in, go a little bit slower, whatever I needed to do. And I'd always get there right on time. And if for some reason I was late, everything was always working kind of magically to align in a way where it wasn't an issue. And before, I used to be so stressed that I would be late, that there would be an issue, that someone would be mad, that something would happen, that, there'd be a consequence to it. And these things don't happen that way. If you allow yourself to enjoy the music, to sit back, to be kind to other drivers, and do these sorts of things, time expands and moves and shifts with you to create a reality that really these things don't happen that used to happen. Okay, people don't get mad at you and start honking. It's just all good. So you tap into a frequency, a timeline where everything is working in your favor. And so we can be tapped into something completely different. And I know that because I've been there. But when we are tapped into our joy and we are creating a flow for ourselves where we're in joy, then everything seems to align and there is time for everything that you want. And everything that you need to do will get done when it is time. And you'll be guided to do things that you never thought you would do. Sometimes I hear people say, I don't have enough time to work on my hobbies. I don't have enough time to do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Time will move when you experience that joy and you get in that flow, and it will move in a way and bend in a way that allows you to do it. So just commit to doing it, claim it, and say, I am doing this for myself. I am going to do this today, and start doing it. And as you start to do it, you'll see that you have time for it. So there's time for everything. It's just when we limit ourselves and think that we don't have time that it kind of gets cut off. So it's important to keep that in mind. There's so many things that I could really be talking about, thinking versus doing. So a lot of times we're thinking about doing something, a project, a chore, something that is on our to-do list, or we just have it in our mind and we're thinking. But there's a lot more energy that we could just be gaining if we're just doing it. So instead of thinking it and having it in a loop, if it's there, if it's bugging you, if it's already been dropped into your mind and you can't get it out, go ahead and do it. As soon as you do it, it'll be done. I remember there was times that I wanted to, or I was thinking about doing something, like let's say cleaning the oven. It was just in my head, clean the oven. You've got to clean the oven today. And it would just last and just pester me all day long. One day I realized, let's just do it. And I did it. And what I noticed was it took me about 20-30 minutes to do it. And I never had to think about it again. So it wasn't constantly draining the energy out of me. I noticed this happens as well when we have appointments. We have like a doctor's appointment, or we have an appointment for something, right, somewhere. And it's like you're thinking about it, that you have that appointment. And in some ways it's kind of leaking your energy a bit. You're not able to be 100% there. So that's what this is like. If you're constantly thinking about something, you just got to do it. And when you do it, you free up all of that energy within your mind to be onto something else. So that's something that's important to keep in mind. The thing about doing things and just getting them done is that once it's done, it's done. Even if you didn't really want to do it, if it is stuck in your mind, go ahead and do it. Get it out of your mind. There's no reason in going into loops and thinking and wasting and draining energy out of you. So when we don't have a whole lot to do, we don't have these to-do lists, we don't have a burden on ourselves telling ourselves we have to do this today, our energy is really freed up and we are able to accomplish a whole lot more. So timelessness is really now. You can think about it as like a film reel, like a movie reel. The whole movie is there, but whatever's being shown on that screen is what's happening now. But you could be tapping into anything on that screen and be jumping anywhere. So it's like jumping timelines. You could be going into many different things. And so sometimes we are thinking that we are bound by time. This is another thing that I hear quite often, is that, okay, I want to get married by the time I'm 25. And then once I get married, I have to be married for about 5 years before I have my first child. I'm not going to get married until I finish my second college degree. All of these things that are bound by time that we create in our own mind actually set us back because there's actually no timeline. We think, oh, we have to date someone for a year or 2 years before we get married. That's not true. It's whenever you decide. So you choose time for yourself. If you want to have a baby within 6 months, you can plan and do that. If you want to get married with someone 2 months into that relationship, you can do that. There is nothing that is totally binding you but you. So another thing to keep in mind is if you've been bound by time thinking, oh, I'm only going to do the things that are truly in my heart when I retire. So you're waiting till you're like 65 or something to do those things in your heart. You're binding yourself into time in a way that you're creating that cage for yourself. The universe says you can do it now. The universe says you have time now. So what are you going to align with? Are you going to wait till you're 65 and then your body is also kind of, having normal aging type things and it's harder for you to do those things? Or are you going to do it now and just see that time is here and now? As soon as you free up everything in your mind, the now moment is very free. It's full of energy. It's constantly creating. So if you tap into this now moment, it doesn't matter about the past, it doesn't matter about the future, it doesn't matter about what could be, any of that stuff. You're in this now moment and you have like an enormous amount of energy. So I kind of wanted to talk to you today about manifesting time, bending time. When you're in this state of being and you're in your flow and you do the things that create flow for you, you have a regulated nervous system. And things come easy to you too. You're not like so in a bad mood or trying to do things quickly. I remember I used to do things very, very quickly. And I used to also get frustrated very quickly. When things didn't go my way or I felt like time was, against me in some way, I would get frustrated. But when you begin to live in the flow and in this now moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future or your to-do list or anything you need to do or have to do or whatever, when you're in this now moment, you can be regulated in your nervous system and you can experience ease. You can experience how things can be easy, how time expands, how everything works for you. And you can be without your rush. You don't have to be rushed for everything. You can slow down and smell the roses. I remember when I first had my non-dual awakening, I noticed that I had never really truly looked at flowers. I had really never really looked around me deeply because I began to see aspects of everything around me that I had never seen. And this is truly heaven on earth here. And when you have time and you're not in a rush and you're feeling at ease and you take time to look at everything around you, it's magnificent, it's beautiful, it's heaven on earth, and your spirit just ignites and you have this sense of joy and everything happens easier and it happens just in the right time. You're always at the right time. You're never in the wrong time. So that's another thing is like we think that we're off time or we've lost time or this or that. No, you're always in the right moment at the right time. You're never anywhere you shouldn't be. Everything that is happening is perfectly aligned. So when you realize that as well, you can relax. You can be in this moment. You can experience that now moment and you can take time to, like they say, smell the roses. So I hope that this message found you well, that it gave you a few insights into how to bend time, the illusion of time, and how to manifest more time for yourself by being in the flow. So these are the sorts of things that we talk about in our Creator Codes series, and this is a course that I'm putting on right now. We're going through our first session of students right now, but I'm planning to do another session of this course. And we go deeper and deeper and deeper into all of this around time. So this is one of the lessons, just one of the many lessons that we talk about when we are in this Creator course. So Creator course is not just about creating money. It's not just about creating your dream life and cars and things like that. It's about manifesting time, manifesting ease. We all want peace of mind. How do we get that? And so in this course, we go into many different aspects of the Creator Codes. And so what I shared with you today is just a little bit about what we will actually go into in the course. So if you're interested in going deeper on these topics, please email me at schoolofscarlett@gmail.com and I'll get you the information about this second round of the Creator course, when I'm going to be putting that out and all the information around that. I do have a wait list for that, so go ahead and email me now if you would like to be on that wait list. If you are new here, I want to welcome you to my channel. I want to welcome you to subscribe. If you like this sort of content, to come back, hit that notification bell. And to all my returning viewers, thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and I will catch you on our next video.